Hello everyone, welcome to my channel, and in today's class we gonna learn about human evolution. So all we know that humans are evolved from the last universal common ancestor, simply LUCA, last universal common ancestor. So what, but people will say we were evolved from the old monkeys or apes. No, we were evolved only from the apes, but at starting we were originated from the LUCA. That means that last universal common ancestor having the genetic materials as DNA or RNA, and it having genetic code, and it is having the L amino acids in the proteins. These all shared by the all types of organisms on the earth, including humans. So that means we were not created suddenly, and we are just evolved through this evolutionary process from the one type of organisms to other one. Okay, so we are the one of a species in the animalia kingdom, but mostly we are intelligent people because we can talk and we can communicate better than any other animals. Okay, and we will see in this topic how Homo sapiens, that means the modern man, how modern man was evolved, and how different continents are having different kinds of populations, and we will see the some DNA hybridization differences between the modern man Homo erectus as well as Neanderthals and Denisovan. Okay, so let me first see how Homo sapiens were evolved from the Homo erectus. So if you see the left one, which is the multi-regional hypothesis. So according to this hypothesis, the Homo erectus in Africa, they were migrated 1 to 2 million years ago to the different continents. Okay, so Homo erectus directly migrated to the different continents, like they become the Africans, Europeans, Asians and Australians. But here they are showing that interbreeding was happened. If interbreeding was happened means they can't able to mate each other in future, but we can now. Different continents people can mate each other and they can reproduce also. Okay, and according to the out of Africa hypothesis, Homo erectus in Africa, slowly they become the Homo sapiens in Africa. Within the Africa only they become the Homo sapiens, and just 1 lakh years ago, they were migrated to the Africa, European, Asian and Australasian. So that means according to the out of Africa hypothesis, already Homo sapiens were evolved within the Africa and only migrated, and we are just one of the population derived from the Africa only. Okay, so let me see some of the proofs. According to this model, that means replacement model or out of Africa hypothesis, replacement of older populations of archaic man, Homo sapiens, including Neanderthals, occurred with the mixing of gene pools. So at the time of presence of Homo erectus, there were Denisovan and Neanderthal populations also. But nowadays we can't see Denisovan and Neanderthal populations. But what happened to them? Are they extincted? No, they were replaced. That means due to the mating between the Neanderthals and Homo sapiens, Neanderthals as well as Denisovan, finally the Neanderthals and Denisovan are replaced by the Homo sapien populations, because when compared to Denisovan and Neanderthals, Homo sapiens are more advanced ones, and which can communicate more, who can utilize the resources more. Okay, so that's why natural selection always will select the advanced one. So here the Neanderthals, Denisovan were not extincted, they were replaced by the Homo sapiens. Okay, so we know that mitochondrial DNA undergo less mutations when compared to any other type of genetic material. Okay, So non-African mitochondrial DNA sequences. So nowadays, let we come to nowadays. Non-African mitochondrial DNA sequences means Europeans, Australians, Asians and Americans. So if we compare these mitochondrial DNA sequences with African mitochondrial DNA sequence, scientists got the information that African mitochondrial DNA is the oldest mitochondrial DNA. From this only these all variants diverged, or these all variants evolved. So that means we are only evolved from the we are only migrated from the Africa. For example, if you think a multi-regional hypothesis, so according to multi-regional hypothesis, Homo erectus 2 to 3 million years ago they were migrated to the different continents. If really Homo erectus migrated means we will get more variations in the mitochondrial DNA, and we can't say all the humans on the different continents may become Homo sapiens, because according to the resources, according to the environmental conditions, 1 to 2 million years means it is a lot of time to become a new species. Okay, but we all are having the similar type of diseases, we all having the similar type of DNA sequences, we all have the similar type of characteristics. So that means Homo sapiens only migrated from the Africa to the different continents. Okay, so according to the mitochondrial DNA sequence analysis, Africans are the oldest people. From Africans only these all other continent populations were diverged. So we can't say if we are living in different continents means we can't say we are different species, we are the different populations. So Indian population or Indian race, African race, American race, so we were just populations of the same species. Okay, and 3 major origins from East Africa. So that what we are discussing out of Africa hypothesis. So 3 major origins, that means some of the people migrated to the North Africa, Europe and Central Asia, and some of the people migrated to the Northeast Asia and America. So recently only the population migrated to the America, that we know well, right? And some of the people migrated to the Southeast Asia and South Pacific. So these type of major origins from East Africa was happened during the 0.1 million years ago or 1 lakh years ago. So we can see I already discussed that we are more closely related to the apes. Do you know one thing? The old world monkeys and apes are considered as the ancestors for the humans. So they were nearly evolved 35 million years ago. Just 7 million years ago, our closest relative from chimpanzee, a hominin was evolved. A hominin also similar to the humans, and this hominins gave rise to different type of species, and finally only the Homo sapiens are surviving now. Okay, so you can see here the comparisons. So the Australopithecus afarensis are the oldest populations, okay, oldest type of species to the humans. They have the similarity with the chimpanzee skull. Okay, they have similar type of chimpanzee skull, and after that our recent ancestors are the Homo erectus. So when we see, we have a similarities between the Homo erectus and Homo sapiens, as well as Australopithecus afarensis. Homo erectus also having similarities, and Australopithecus afarensis, chimpanzees also having the similarities in their skull structure. So we can say this is the evolutionary path. So there are a lot of missing links. We can't say exactly from chimpanzee directly Australopithecus afarensis evolved, Homo erectus, Homo sapiens evolved. But there are some missing links. There are some different types of species were also evolved slowly. See, evolutionary process will not occur suddenly. It will takes place gradually. Smaller changes will takes place, and finally it will reach to the final species. Okay, and candelabra model multiple origin or polyphyletic origin. Okay, So that what we have discussed, multi-regional hypothesis, we can call it as candelabra model also. So according to this, Homo erectus migrated to the different continents, and after migration they become the Homo sapiens, and now they were the Homo sapiens sapiens. Okay, so this is one theory, but let we see what are the objections for this theory and what is the support to this theory. So what supporting? Eyebrow ridges and cranial size features of Chinese and Australian humanoid fossils. So they were saying that the fossils what we are found in the recent times, they are saying that their cranial sizes and eyebrow ridges are different in Chinese population as well as Australian population, and they are saying that if really Homo sapiens were migrated recently from the Africa, then why they having the different type of eyebrow ridges and cranial sizes? Actually, if we are migrated also 1 lakh years is more time for the change in the phenotypic characteristics and as well as genotypic characteristics also. So when come to Chinese people look in one way and Africans look in another way, because their environment, according to their feeding, according to their adapted to the environmental conditions and the availability of resources, their structures or the morphological characters may change slightly. Okay, according to the temperature also the morphological characters may change. So we need to consider that thing also. Here the supporting theory is not always correct, because if they are really Homo erectus migrated directly to the different continents according to the multi-regional hypothesis or candelabra model, why all the humans in the earth having the similar mutations and similar amount of variability? Okay, and they were saying punctuated equilibrium in human evolution occurred. Punctuated equilibrium means here little or no morphological changes took place. Okay, so this is the phylogenetic tree. So we have already considered that Australopithecus afarensis is derived from the chimpanzee. So this Australopithecus afarensis become the Paranthropus Ethiopicus. This Paranthropus Ethiopicus diverged into Paranthropus robustus, Paranthropus boyacei. These were only available in the form of fossils, they are not living ones. This Australopithecus afarensis also gave rise to the Australopithecus africans. So it became the Homo rudolfensis. Now Homo rudolfensis also not available. This Homo, after that Australopithecus africanus also gave rise to Homo habilis, and it became the Homo ergaster, and it became the Homo erectus. So in between the Homo erectus and Homo sapiens, Homo heidelbergensis is also there. This Homo heidelbergensis gave rise to the Homo neanderthalensis, Denisovan and Homo sapiens. So Homo heidelbergensis is replaced by these three types of species. So from this Homo heidelbergensis, these three types of species were diverged. Okay, and the Denisovan and Homo neanderthalensis both were replaced by the Homo sapiens in the recent times. Okay, so this is the comparison of DNA of living humans as well as the fossil evidences. So just to see, these blue color indications all are the Africans, Melanesians, Europeans, East Asians. These blue color indicating the recent ones and living ones. Okay, living ones from different continents. And the green color species, here the Homo erectus is a doubt one. Okay, and Denisovan Neanderthals, those are already replaced by the Homo sapiens, and they were not alive today because they were only available in the fossils form. And here the numbering 450, 50 indicating the divergence time 1000 years ago. So the Neanderthals diverged from a common recent ancestor 450,000 years ago. Like that they were mentioned here. So let we see. it's actually DNA hybridization result. So for example, if you have European DNA and you have Denisovan fossil DNA, so if you hybridize both of the DNAs, they will check how much hybridization is occurring. So the hybridization is more, there is a more similarity between them. Okay, so if the hybridization is less, there is a more distant relationship between them. Okay, so see, Africans have no DNA from Neanderthals or Denisovans. So they were saying that Africans, if you see here the arrow marks, Africans are not related to the Denisovan or Neanderthals. Okay, and indicating that the mating with the Neanderthals happened outside of the Africa. So Neanderthals were not related to the Africans, but they all were one of the type of species at one time, but after they migrated to different continents, they explored different type of mutations and variability, and Africans and Denisovan does not undergo any mating also, so that's why there is no relation between Denisovan Neanderthal and Africans. Okay, and East Asians, Europeans, Melanesians have DNA sequences from Neanderthals that were inherited from a pulse of hybridization in their common ancestor. So if you can see here, the Neanderthals having the relation with the DNA hybridization sequence similarity with the East Asians, Europeans as well as Melanesians. Okay, so this is the first pulse of hybridization. When we see the second pulse of hybridization, East Asians and Europeans share DNA from the second pulse of Neanderthal hybridization that occurred in the common ancestor. So here you can see that the one common ancestor which is derived from the Neanderthals gives rise to East Asians and Europeans. But if you see here that the number 60 here showing that there is another common ancestor from this common ancestor which is derived from the Neanderthal, gave rise to Melanesians, East Asians and Europeans. But after that, here another common ancestor is also present which gives rise to East Asians and Europeans. So this is the second pulse of hybridization. Okay, East Asians also have Neanderthal DNA not found in other population, that is inherited from a third period of hybridization that happened after their ancestors diverged from the European population. So we are here discussing that from a recent common ancestor from Neanderthal, East Asians and Europeans were evolved. But here another thing is that the East Asians also having the another common ancestor which is gave rise to directly East Asians. Okay, so there are several common ancestors. You can see in here the nodes indicating the several common ancestors. Okay, and Denisovan DNA shows evidence of much older hybridization with another species of hominin, possibly Homo erectus. So hominin is nothing but which is diverged from the chimpanzees only 7 million years ago, that I have already discussed. So they were saying maybe Denisovan is derived from the hominin type of species which may be Homo erectus but not confirmed yet. Okay, so this is the here they were not shown deeper branches, so that's why they gave the two scales. Okay, so the deeper branches were not shown here, so you need to remember this one because it's a new edition, so there is a chance that in future we may get the question from this topic also. Okay, remember this relations. Okay, so just according to that arrows we can determine what are the common ancestors. So according to that we can write points easily also. Okay, and phylogeny of some living apes except fossils so from chimpanzee, bonobo, chimpanzee gives rise to bonobo as well as humans. Okay, so see, each is specific. So if you see here, there is a specific common ancestor. This is the main, chimpanzee may be main ancestor, but there are secondary common ancestors which were diverged into different type of species like humans, gorilla, orangutan and gibbon. Okay, so so here is the common ancestor will start. Sorry, not chimpanzee. Actually, gibbon, orangutan, gorilla, these all are the phylogenetic relationships of a living apes. So just we need to know about this thing only. So if you like this video, please like, share and comment, and please subscribe to my channel also and share to your friends also. In future I'll produce more videos with good accuracy. Now with the help of little bit resources what I'm having, I'm doing videos. In future I'll do more betterly and with a good accuracy also. Thank you everyone.